Hi, this is Amy from Soar with Tapping. And today I want to talk with you about anxiety and how to work through it with tapping. But if you suffer with anxiety, please know that you are not alone. Over 20% of our population has been diagnosed with some sort of anxiety disorder. And that's not even considering all of the people that suffer with milder symptoms on a regular basis. So you're not alone, and we're going to talk through it today so that you have a plan of attack with tapping and hopefully releasing some of the symptoms. But first, I want to discuss what anxiety is. We all know the physical symptoms of anxiety, but what are the causes of anxiety? Well, at its essence, anxiety is a feeling of having your safety threatened, either physically or emotionally, and it triggers the fight or flight mode to engage in our nervous system. When that happens, our body rushes blood to our extremities so we have quick movement abilities, and it also shuts off non-essential functions like our immune system and our digestive systems to put all of our focus on what needs to be addressed in the moment. We like to call this anxiety and this fight or flight mode stress. And it has become so normalized in our world today, and even considered a badge of honor in some cases. But normalizing and accepting a state that has our immune system weakened and our digestive systems weakened means that we are extremely susceptible to disease and chronic pain, things of that nature. While it's important to treat the symptoms of anxiety, what I really want to get to is the cause. How do we address the cause of this anxiety so that it doesn't happen anymore? In a moment when you need it, be sure to use the tapping script for general anxiety. That will get you through a moment. But we also want to address the causes of this so we can eliminate these triggers from happening in the future. As I mentioned, most of the fears that trigger the anxiety and the fight or flight response happen unconsciously. The culprit in these cases is most often what I like to call a foundational fear. These are the things that form the foundation of our feelings of safety and security in the world. And if those things are threatened, then anxiety happens. And that's when we go into fight or flight mode and have all of the symptoms associated with it. So what are foundational fears? Well, let's go through them. The first one is our body. And my question to you is, do you feel safe in your body? And a lot of people don't understand what I mean when I ask that, so let me explain it a little further. What I want you to consider when you answer that question is your body a source of physical or emotional pain for you? Now, physical pain could be from an injury or an illness or even an assault. And emotional pain could exist if there is consistent or repetitive negative messaging about your body, whether that comes from you internally or whether it comes from outside sources doesn't matter. So when our body is a source of consistent physical or emotional pain, it will cause us to unconsciously reject it, try and get away from it as much as possible, which leaves us feeling very ungrounded, very unsafe. Other foundational fears include the fear of being financially unsafe, the fear of not belonging, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of not being wanted, or feeling not worthy or not enough. Those are all massive fears that, if we're talking about the foundation of safety in your life, create huge cracks in your foundation. And there's no way you can build a stable life on a shaky surface. So that's why we work through these things first. There are some other related fears to those, but I would focus on these big foundational fears first, and you will reap so many rewards. Using tapping to work through these foundational fears will definitely help when you're working through anxiety issues. and it'll increase your sense of safety in the world dramatically. In fact, when I'm working with a new client, I always go through these foundational fears first because it influences everything else. And neutralizing these fears is always the best place to start. Create that strong foundation for yourself, and a lot of things will fall in line. So good luck with your tapping, and let me know how it goes. I'm Amy from Soar with Tapping, tapping into your potential by healing your past.